Welcome to Battlespace Daily. This is episode 2 for June 30th, 2026, your daily brief on defense technology, autonomous systems, and the programs shaping American strength. The United States Army is actively developing and deploying artificial intelligence and robotic boat technologies to enhance logistics operations across the vast and challenging Pacific theater. This initiative, highlighted by Major General Gavin Gardner, underscores a strategic pivot towards advanced automation to overcome the unique geographical and operational hurdles of the region. General Gardner stated, "If you can work in the Pacific, you can work anywhere in the world," emphasizing the demanding nature of the environment and the scalability of solutions developed there. This move isn't merely about efficiency. It's about projecting power and sustaining forces in a domain where traditional logistics are often slow, vulnerable, and resource-intensive. The integration of AI in planning and execution, coupled with autonomous surface vessels for transport, aims to create a more resilient, agile, and less detectable supply chain. This is particularly critical given the dispersed nature of potential conflicts in the Indo-Pacific and the need to rapidly move materiel and personnel across vast distances without relying solely on large, vulnerable transport ships or airframes. The Army's focus on these technologies signals a clear understanding that future conflicts will demand innovative approaches to sustainment, especially against near-peer adversaries capable of interdicting conventional logistics routes. This development is a foundational step in ensuring the U.S. military maintains its operational advantage in a contested environment, leveraging technology to mitigate geographical disadvantages and enhance strategic reach. Now, for the brief. Third, a 5-month-old startup named Orbital has filed plans with the Federal Communications Commission to deploy up to 100,000 data center satellites. Space News reported that the company aims to bring 10 gigawatts of computing power from space to meet the rising demand for artificial intelligence. This ambitious proposal represents a significant leap in space-based infrastructure, moving beyond traditional communication or Earth observation satellites to dedicated orbital data processing. The concept of placing data centers in orbit offers several potential advantages, including access to abundant solar power, reduced latency for certain applications, and potentially enhanced security by operating outside terrestrial networks. If successful, such a constellation could fundamentally alter the landscape of AI development and deployment, providing unprecedented computational resources in space. However, the scale of this project, involving 100,000 satellites, also raises questions about orbital debris, spectrum allocation, and the sheer logistical challenge of deployment and maintenance. It's a bold vision that could either revolutionize space-based computing or face significant technical and regulatory hurdles. Now, for the read, consider the implications. A B-2, operating from a distant base, could approach a maritime area of operations, launch multiple LRASMs, and aggress before an adversary even knows it's there. The LRASM itself is a sophisticated weapon, designed to evade enemy defenses and autonomously identify its target within a designated area. This combination of stealth, range, and precision could make it incredibly difficult to counter. It means that even the most advanced naval assets, such as aircraft carriers or large surface combatants, could be held at risk hundreds or even thousands of miles from the nearest U.S. naval base or aircraft carrier strike group. This capability could provide a significant deterrent effect, forcing potential adversaries to reconsider their operational plans and invest heavily in their own counter-stealth and anti-missile defenses. Furthermore, this exploration underscores a broader strategic shift within the U.S. military towards distributed lethality and multi-domain operations. It's about ensuring that critical capabilities aren't solely reliant on a single platform or domain. By giving the Air Force's strategic bombers a potent anti-ship capability, the U.S. military increases the number of platforms that can contribute to maritime security and power projection. This makes it harder for an adversary to target and neutralize all potential threats. It also provides flexibility, allowing commanders to choose the most appropriate platform for a given mission, whether it's a carrier-based aircraft, a submarine, or now, potentially, a stealth bomber. The context of a potential conflict with China is paramount here. China's naval expansion and its development of advanced anti-access and area denial capabilities, or A2AD, are designed to push U.S. forces further away from its shores. The B-2 LRASM combination could directly counter this strategy. It could allow the U.S. to project power and hold targets at risk within an A2AD environment, effectively punching holes in an adversary's defensive bubble. This isn't just about sinking ships. It's about denying an adversary the ability to control key maritime choke points, protect its own naval assets, and project its own power. It's a capability that enhances deterrence by demonstrating a credible threat to an adversary's most valuable naval assets, even those operating under the cover of sophisticated air defenses. The message is clear. No naval asset is safe regardless of its location or defensive posture, if it operates within the B-2's strike range. This is a significant enhancement to the U.S.'s ability to maintain a decisive edge in the Pacific and beyond. Now, for Follow the Money and Force. In terms of deployments and strategic positioning, the U.S. Army's push for AI and robot boats in Pacific logistics, as reported by Defense One, is a critical investment. This isn't just about technology, it's about force projection and sustainment in the most challenging operational environment. The Pacific's vast distances and numerous islands make traditional logistics incredibly complex and vulnerable. By leveraging AI for optimized routing, predictive maintenance, and autonomous vessels for transport, the Army aims to create a more resilient and efficient supply chain. This directly supports the ability to rapidly deploy and sustain forces across the Indo-Pacific, a region of increasing strategic importance. The dollars here are going into research and development, procurement of autonomous systems, and the training infrastructure necessary to integrate these technologies into active service. This is a long-term investment in future warfighting capabilities, ensuring that the U.S. military can maintain its operational tempo and responsiveness in a contested environment. Separately, the destruction of an Italian MQ-9A Reaper drone in Kuwait in March, as reported by The Aviationist, highlights a different kind of force deployment challenge. The drone remained at Ali al-Salam Air Base despite Italy's decision against relocating it, reportedly to avoid appearing involved in the war against Iran. This incident, where the aircraft was destroyed despite Italy not participating in Operation Epic Fury, underscores the complexities of maintaining assets in volatile regions and the political sensitivities surrounding military presence. The financial implications here are the cost of the lost drone, which is a significant asset, and potentially the cost of replacing it. More broadly, it points to the need for clear rules of engagement and robust protection for deployed assets, even when a nation seeks to maintain a low profile in a conflict zone. The decision to keep the drone in place, driven by political considerations, ultimately led to its loss, illustrating the difficult balance between strategic positioning and operational risk. In a related development concerning future force structure, Britain is setting out a plan for future defense with a strong focus on drones and a fight over money, according to the Associated Press. The UK's defense overhaul will reportedly shift towards drones, AI systems, and rapid cycle innovation. This represents a significant reallocation of defense spending. The money will increasingly flow into advanced technologies rather than solely into traditional expensive platforms. This strategic shift is about maximizing combat effectiveness within budgetary constraints, recognizing that a large number of relatively inexpensive AI-enabled drones can often achieve effects comparable to, or even superior to, a smaller number of high-cost manned systems. The fight over money aspect suggests that this transition will involve difficult choices and potential cuts to legacy programs to free up funds for these new priorities. This is a clear signal of where future defense dollars are headed for a key NATO ally. Finally, Naval News highlighted a critical gap in maritime defense architecture: anti-drone warfare, or ADW. The proliferation of autonomous one-way attack drones has exposed that ADW is distinct from conventional air defense or counter-unmanned aerial systems, or CUAS. This is a structural gap, particularly for maritime environments, that can't be closed by simply adapting existing systems. This analysis points to a significant area for future investment and force development. The money will need to go into developing specialized sensors, effectors, and command and control systems specifically designed to counter the unique threat physics and engagement economics of maritime drones. This isn't just about buying more of what currently exists. It's about developing entirely new capabilities to protect naval assets from a rapidly evolving threat. The force implications are that navies will need to integrate dedicated ADW units and systems, and train personnel in these new doctrines to effectively operate in an environment where swarms of autonomous drones are a persistent threat. Now, what to watch? Tomorrow, keep a close eye on the ongoing situation in Ukraine, particularly regarding the claims and counterclaims about territorial gains. While ISW has provided assessments, the battlefield remains dynamic. Any significant shift, even localized, could have broader implications for the conflict's trajectory and the ongoing debate about Western military aid. The resilience of Ukraine's forces, despite the sustained pressure, continues to be a key factor, and any signs of a breakthrough by either side will be critical to monitor. Also, watch for further developments regarding the proposed 100,000 orbital data centers. While Orbital's filing with the FCC is just the first step, the sheer scale and ambition of this project mean that any progress, or indeed any significant regulatory hurdles, will be closely scrutinized. The implications for global AI infrastructure, space traffic management, and even national security are enormous. Any updates on funding, technological partnerships, or regulatory approvals will signal the viability and timeline of this audacious plan. Finally, continue to monitor the strategic shifts in defense spending and doctrine among key U.S. allies, particularly Britain's move towards drone-centric warfare. The UK's experience in adapting to the lessons of Ukraine will provide a valuable case study for other nations considering similar overhauls. Any announcements of specific programs, budget reallocations, or new defense contracts related to drones and AI will indicate the pace and direction of this transformation. This trend isn't isolated. It reflects a broader reevaluation of military capabilities in the face of modern threats and technological advancements. That's all for today's Battlespace Daily. I'm your host, and I'll be back tomorrow with more analysis on defense technology and global security. That's the brief for today. Follow Battlespace Daily wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss tomorrow's edition. Stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.